right, lesson 49 is talking about simplest form. So I've been talking about this a little bit in the last two lessons, how the best way to understand a fraction is to look at it in its smallest numbers. So, and then trying to get it down to what they call simplest form. You are simplifying the fraction. So it's simpler to understand in your brain, just like 30/40ths is hard to picture if you're thinking about 40 parts and what 30 of them would look like. But when you narrow it down to 3/4, oh, I can picture what 3/4 of something looks like. So always getting a fraction down to the simplest form is the best way to put your final answer or to understand what the fraction looks like. So let's look at the directions. A fraction is in simplest form when 1 is the only factor that the numerator and denominator have in common. So let's remember that factors are the digits that you multiply together to make a product. So 3 and 4 are factors of 12. All the factors of 12 are, remember the factor rainbow that I showed you how to make? 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4 are all factors of 12. So if you look at a fraction, 7 and 8. So if we think about the factors of 7, 7's a prime number. 7 only has 1 and 7 as its factors. Nothing, 2 times nothing makes 7, 3 times nothing makes 7, 4 times nothing, 5, 6, and then we're at 7. So 7 is a prime number, only has 1 in itself. So we look at 8. So 8's not a prime number, but because 7 only has 1 and 7 as factors, 7/8 is the simplest form of that fraction. So there are no factors that they have in common besides 1, right? Because the factors of 8 are 1, 8, 2 times 4, 3 is not a factor, and we're already up to 4. So 1 and 8, 2 and 4, and those are listed right here. So the only factor they have in common is 1. All right, let's take a look at this one. So what are the factors of 4? The factors of 4, what numbers go together to make 4 multiplying? 1 and 4, obviously. 2 and 2, right? So 1, 2, and 4 are the factors of 4. I'm gonna write those over here. So the factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. Okay, and then let's see what the factors of 10 are. Well, if we were to do a factor rainbow, they would be 1 and 10, right? Put 10 over here. 2 times what makes 10? 2 and 5. 3, 4, and then we're up to 5. So 1, 2, 5, and 10. So what is the largest factor that these numbers have in common? They both have a 1, but if we divided the top and the bottom by 1, 4 divided by 1 is 4, 10 divided by 1 is 10. Same, it's pointless. All right, so let's go to 2. Neither of them have a 4, or only one of them has a 4, only one of them has a 5, only one of them has 10. So we're gonna go to 2, and we're gonna be able to divide this by 2. That is the highest factor that they have in common. You always wanna try the highest because then you have less work to do. Just like on the last lesson, I divided by 2, then they were both even still, so I divided by 2 again. If I would have listed out the factors, then I would have been only had to do one problem. So dividing the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. 4, so I'm just gonna go like this. I know it's probably not. Divided by 2 over 2. So that would be 4 divided by 2 is 2, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 2/5 is the simplest form of that fraction. So I guess I didn't read the directions. We'll tell whether a fraction is in simplest form. So no, this fraction is not in simplest form because you can reduce it even more, simplify it even more. 2/8. I know right now, those are even numbers. Those are both even numbers. I know that a least can be divided by 2. So no, that is not in simplest form either. All right, 3/5. Well, those are odd numbers. Those are not even numbers. So what are the factors of 3? Only 1 and 3 are the factors of 3. What are the factors of 5? Only 1 and 5 are the factors of 5. So the only factor that those have in common is 1. So yes, that is simplest form. All right, let's look at 4/12. Well, I can tell right now that those are both even numbers. And so I know that they can at least be reduced by 2, but I'm just going to write the factors of 4 and the factors of 12. All right, well, we already have the factors of 12 written over here, so that's handy. And we have the factors of 4 written over here, so I don't even have to do my factor rainbow. 1, 2, and 4 are the factors of 4. And 12 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Well, okay. So we're going to try to find the largest factor that they both have in common. So I have to do the littlest amount of work. So they both have a 1. Yes, they both have a 2. And ooh, they both have a 4. So this is called, doesn't say this on your thing, but there's an actual term for this. It's called the greatest. It's actually called the GCF. The greatest. Ooh, let's see if I can write like this. Greatest common, what do you think that F's for? Factor. So we are always looking for the GCF, the greatest common factor, so that we can do one step to reduce those fractions and simplify. So they both have a 4 in there. Divided top and the bottom by 4. They both have factors of 4. Okay, so 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 4/12 is equivalent to 1/3. All right, one more. We'll find the greatest common factor. I'm going to erase, let's see, 10 is over here, haha. So I'm just going to erase this part and find the 6. What are the factors of 6? Well, if we were to do a factor rainbow, we would have 1 and 6, right? We would have 2 and 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Nothing is in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, and 6. Let's see what the greatest common factor between 10 and 6 is. 1, 2, nope, nothing over there. So 2 is the greatest common factor. So we are going to divide this fraction by 2 halves. Right? So 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 6/10 is equivalent to 3/5. You do this one, and I'm pretty sure, let's take a look at the next page. I'm going to clear. Okay. You can do all these, write this fraction in simplest form. Find the greatest common factor and divide. We're always dividing. Ooh, there's a special one, and there's a special one. You don't even have to worry about dividing because you can see on number 3, if it has the equal number on the top and the bottom, you know that it is equal to 1. 5/5 is 1. So the simplifying that fraction is changing it to a 1. All right. And then this is the same as yesterday, finding out if they are equivalent. And then, so I'm going to let you do those on your own. And then 17 and 18, let's see. At Memorial Hospital, 9 of the 12 babies born on Tuesday were boys. In simplest form, what fraction of the babies born on Tuesday were boys? So I'll do one with you, but this is the same as what we've been doing. So 9 of the 12. So we need to find the factors for 9 and the factors for 12. It's kind of nice to make a little list of them over the top of each other. 9, 12, and then you can really see the greatest common factor. So 9, we have 1 and 9, right? 2 is not a factor of 9, 3 and 3. And we have nothing else. So 1, 3, and 9 are factors of 12. And here we have 1 and 12. Oh, I already had it written before. 2 and 6, 3 and 4, right? So that fact 12 has a lot of factors. Boop. Okay. So let's find the greatest common factor. They both have a 1. We don't want to do that. They don't both have a 2. They both have a 3. Is that the highest one? Yes. So we are going to divide that fraction top and bottom by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 3/4 in simplest form. What fraction of the babies were born on Tuesday were boys? 3/4 of the babies is what you would write, but I don't have enough room. Would be the best super student way to answer that. All right. That is math for the week. Hopefully it was fun. Bye, guys.